Hello, Judy here from Thistledew Creations. Today I'm going to show you how you can reuse the covers from your 6x6 paper pads. So I mounted these onto craft cardstock yesterday, and I thought I would make them into tags. So I've always liked the way that the coordinating papers look together in the picture that's on the front cover of the designer papers. The 6x6s cut in half make great size for tags or journaling cards. So I've done a bunch of them up. I'm going to show you decorating 2 of them. And all we basically want to do is cover this label of the describing the papers. So you can see there that I've just taken that label, that top sheet that comes inside the front of the package, and cut it in half. And I've assembled a few little bits and bobs that I can use to decorate them with. And so the main focal point that I thought for these blue ones was this mandala. And what I thought I would do is simply cut it in half. I do this a lot on my ATCs, where I take sort of the main focal point and cut it in half, and that blends in really well with those background colors. And then we just need to do something out to the side. So I do have this little label, because when you stop and look around, this life is pretty amazing. So that could go either under or over. And basically that has decorated it to the point where you can't see the writing anymore on this one. But I think I want to add more. So I do have also some little miniature stamps. A purple one. There's a little bit of purple in this setup. And I've got tickets out too. I've got a blue ticket that can go as well, and a clock. So the idea is to not make it so obvious that you're just covering a label. So on this other one, I kind of wanted to use these scissors, but I'll need something in behind it. So I was thinking maybe doily. So I was thinking this one is one that I plasticized with glue. Don't know if I want to use that one. I think I'll use this paper one. And what I thought I could do is kind of do another layer of I don't know if this is wise to just cut it without, but just do another layer under here that then the scissors will show up better. I could do it up like this so I could see that rose. Have it coming down right through the middle there. And then I could still add some other little bits and bobs, like postage stamp, maybe a green one with the blue, and a ticket, maybe like this off greenish color maybe would work. So just some elements that can be worked into it. Now for this one, I do have this butterfly, which is something I stamped, and it's just the right color red ink. I also have a clock, which I can certainly cut in half. Like I say, I do that an awful lot. And it's kind of that just slightly off-white details. And I could even bring it in a little bit if I want to see this whole fancy border. And then I don't know, maybe the butterfly could be cut in half. I did fussy cut it. I didn't fussy cut it. I cut it with some fancy scissors. I'm just going to go around it with these. Let's see how that looks. That's not bad. and maybe some lace as well. So lace and butterfly and maybe a ticket, not quite the right color. Need to be that aqua color. Under the butterfly, but over the edge of the doily. And then I've got some hexies as well that I could just pop in there. And then under the clock, again, maybe some lace doily. I don't really have to save that outline border. I do like it, but I don't really have to save it. Could do something like this and this. And this saying isn't really that significant, but it does look good, the coloring of it. And then I've got this little bit of lace with green around the edges, which could go on top of everything. So those kind of are getting there. Let's start gluing and see how it all comes together. I'm going to use the tacky glue, and I'll start with this first one. I'm going to ink too. I think it looks so much better when the little pieces are inked. That gives that a bit of a, accentuates the greens in it. Get my tweezers out. Probably yelling at me, Judy, don't forget to use your tweezers. Keep your fingers clean. Okay, this one needs to be inked. Probably have way more stuff out than I will use because I had these little Judys out and I haven't touched them. I just thought I might need them, but I don't think I do. Okay. Little blue ticket. I kind of want to tuck it in underneath, but it may be too late. I'm just going to have to build. And this is a little die cut from the Dollarama, which I may go back and get more of these. I've taken them all out of the books and sort of separated them into the bins where I can find what I'm looking for easier. Like all the dragonflies are in the dragonfly bin now. All the flowers are in my flower book. All the tickets went in my ticket box, and all the steampunky stuff went into a new little box that I've started for steampunky stuff. Didn't mind flipping through the books. I found it enjoyable, but I just figured I would use the stuff more if it was out in these little bins that I'm reaching for already. So I took them out, but I wouldn't mind having more of them. I think I will do that just on a bit of an angle. So for now, that's good. Now I don't have any lace on that one. That's sort of, to me, kind of what it's missing, but we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and put this doily down. And for that, I'll use some glue stick. So I'll glue it off to the side here. You have to be kind of gentle with the glue stick, but you got to get it all over all the little bits. and then a little bit of the plain paper. And like I said, I'll just kind of go right through that label area. Press it down. Another way that you can do that is to put like a clear plastic over top of it and then press. One of those more rigid acetate sheets works well. You just have to be careful when you peel it back up. And then use your old scissors to cut the excess off. And that little piece of white paper probably won't get used now. Stick it there. I was going to do another half circle. Maybe I'll do the purple one on this, because the purple then with the blue scissors will pop better. I'll save this for another day. And I did have this, I may use some of this too at the end, we'll see. The other thing I have is these blue flowers that kind of go with this color scheme, but I'll start with this, and because I've got that already kind of covered, I can go down a little bit from center maybe. I kept that one right in the middle. I do like the symmetry of it, but I just want to try some different placements. It's so easy to just keep doing the same thing over and over when you know that it looks good, but it's nice to try different combinations and placements and see what else looks good. So I'm going to move this down a bit. And then the scissors can go up a bit, you see. Now, do I want to put some other color in behind them? This was one of the die cuts as well, from the little booklets at Dollarama. I had them in a haul not too long ago. And I just want that right in the middle of that seam between the two papers. Here. Visually, I think that looks the best rather than just randomly stuck on there. And then ticket, it could even come from the other side, but it's got a ripped edge that's nicely inked, which makes me think it wants to be out in the middle somewhere. Maybe down here. One and stamp, or up here where it's closer to more green stuff. I don't want to cover that rose either. That could be on the diagonal and that could be straight. I don't do a lot of diagonal stuff, but that's a good thing to try, something that you don't normally do, right? So I'll put that sort of on that line of the doily, and then I'll break it up by putting that there too. Make sure it's upside right. Well, that's looking good. And let's see what we can do with this guy. I like the idea of the doily and the butterfly, so I'm going to do that. Doily goes first. Should definitely have the tweezers for this. Again, I picked up 2 tickets. I definitely only want one. What did I have for a stamp on this one? Did I have a stamp picked out? I had this. I think I just had this. I might pick out a stamp as well. I just absolutely love the pinkish red with turquoise or aqua. I guess it's more of an aqua. I just love that color combination. And then that stamp kind of goes well. I've got a couple of those. It's got that same kind of red in it. Looking good. Now this one, I'll start with that piece of doily again. This one's kind of crumply. Try picking it up with the tweezers. I'm just really thrilled with how these are turning out. I had the clock there, didn't I? I'm not so sure, but that's what I want. Try antiquing it a little bit more. It stands out a little better when it's antique like that. And it can come down this way. I've got this little saying, which can go there. And this little bit of lace is maybe not quite the right. It's got green around the edges, but I think by the time I antique it, ink it, it's not going to look green. Well, I guess it still does have a bit of a green hue to it. Wrong glue. That like that, and then I was thinking ticket just now. The green one, or if there was a red one, I would use a red one in this case. I use these little mint tins from Dollar Tree at the checkout normally. That one's not the right color, red or pink. It's tricky with reds. I don't think I have a good red one. Might have a good red stamp though. Let's see what I've got for green ones. One with a little bit of an architecture look to it. Not quite the right color. This dark one. Oh, that's still too pink. That one would work, but I think I want the darker one. And I don't necessarily need the whole ticket. I could definitely cut it and have it poking out somewhere, or out from even the side of the card. I've done that on my ATCs as well. I am going to town today. I just thought I have my Etsy packages all ready to mail, and I thought I would do a quick video before I take off to town. I'm going to take my dad to a doctor's appointment today. Well, not a doctor, a dietitian. See if we can learn some more tricks for him to eat better. Wouldn't hurt me either to eat a little better. And definitely do a little hexie. I love me a hexie. I could put like a bird or a dragonfly or a butterfly. If I had anything handy. I've got maybe my little bird books handy. Use these tiny little flowers too. Put that right on the butterfly. And this one, put right in the middle of that lace thing. These flowers, I think they're too blue for the green and red combo. They might not be too bad after I ink them though. See how that changes the color of them? Now it works on there. It's a good idea to play around with your inks and see what it does to different colors. Because you might not think you have a good color for something, and then you realize, oh, if I just do that, it changes it completely. So I'm going to use that. I was thinking I would use it on these ones, but I really like it inked, so I'm going to do it on the green ones, aqua ones. Okay. I don't know if that could use a butterfly too. Not really. And I don't need those. These can all go back in. And then what else? Do I need anything else on these? I didn't get a clock on that one. I think this might be one I fussy cut. It's got some rougher edges on it. See if it needs to be on one of these cards. It's not really showing up great. I think that's okay. And then stamps. Do I have a stamp on this one? A red stamp. and that pinkish red, and just a little bit of the ink over top, and it just really dulls it down nicely. Put that up here. Okay, so I'm going to get some of this stuff off to the side, and I didn't even use this. This is another thing that I use quite a bit, like for the edges of cards and stuff, and I could have easily put some of that on. It would have looked nice too, but I don't think it needs it. I'm going to do some rounded corners on these. I'll do the smallest radius. Seems to be my favorite. I could cut like a tag topper on it. I'll just leave them as journal cards for now. When I go to use them, if I want to make it into a tag, it's easy enough to do. I love the difference it makes once you've taken the corners off. And then I'll ink around the whole thing. Need to do a little trim in there. Inking takes care of it a little bit too. I'm really thrilled with these. So if you are in the habit of just tossing these in the bin, don't do it. Save them and make journal cards out of them. Or use them in collage. It's just more of the same paper that you bought that you liked, so why wouldn't you? I think it makes a big difference too when you ink the edge of the card and the edge of the doily. It's easier to do once that glue's dried a bit. And these are nice and flat, so they go in and out of pockets easily. Not a lot of layers on them. I was carrying these around in my wallet for the last couple of years, just to remind myself of which ones I already have. I finally took them out of my wallet the other day because I hadn't really checked when I was in the stores. I never bothered to check, so I thought, well, if I see something again and I like it, I'll just buy it again. If it's at the dollar store, it's only $1 anyway, $1.25, $1.50. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's a great way to upcycle your packaging and get rid of a few little bits and bobs of ephemera and stuff at the same time. Use it up. So sometimes I would ink the back, but it's already craft paper. When you do ink it, it shows up a bit. Makes it look a little bit more casual, I guess, or aged. Maybe with the darker one would be more effective. The ground espresso is the other one that I have. What you do sometimes see when you do the back is you see where you need to cut more off. And you can go back and re-ink the front. Get rid of that light little edge. So yeah, it makes a slight difference, not as big a difference. It's not necessary really. And then there's the finished products. I hope you enjoyed seeing that, and like, comment, share, subscribe. Most of all, have a fabulous day.